Good afternoon all. Welcome to this media announcement of the two latest signings for the Wellington Phoenix for season 18-19. Thank you all for coming. We'll follow the usual sort of process. Just a bit of background and context for you. When we first started talking to Mark about his squad for this year, we asked him obviously where he thought the strengths and weaknesses of the squad was. And he made it very clear from the start that we were missing two things. One was a really strong central spine. And the other thing was the experience and the loss of a significant number of players with a lot of A-League experience from the squad over the last couple of years. And you can see from Mark's recent signings over the last week, 2 weeks, those are the areas that he's immediately addressed with the signing of first Stephen Taylor and then Philip Couto last week as a goalkeeper. And I think that you see with the two players here this afternoon, there's over 350 games of A-League experience between these two players and close to 70 goals that these two guys have scored in the A-League. So it's a significant inclusion into our squad with these two players joining Wellington for the upcoming season. So very, very pleased that they're here, and I think we'll just throw it to Mark and get his background on it.
Good to see the same faces except for yourself. Where were you last time?
I was on Travis New Plymouth this year.
Were you?
Priorities, man.
Good to see you. Right? Yeah. Priorities. Anyway, look, I'm really happy to have both these players here at this football club as well. From afar, I was a big fan of both the way they played the game, and they played the way I like watching. David in particular is a very quick, direct, takes players on, he's fearless, gets into some good goal scoring opportunities and scores goals, and been tracking him since he left, and he's matured as a player since going abroad, and that's what happens when you go to Europe. And some go there and come back very quickly. Other guys go there and play games the way David has, and he's accumulated a number of games, and again his record still stands up in terms of goals and games ratios. He could do a lot better, having watched a lot of those games as well, and that's what we're trying to aim for, is to get David into the best physical shape, and from a football perspective he's going to add a lot to us as well. But there's a lot of improvements there with David. So having initially spoken to him, both of these guys are at a fantastic age. I think they're in their best years. So we're lucky to have them at this point in their career, albeit challenging ones. David's come back, wanting a taste of the A-League and wants to challenge himself, and the environment that we've created here, fits in with what he wants to do. Mitch Nichols is a special player for mine. He's a winner. He's won 2 championships. It's clear. He admittedly, made a mistake, but haven't we all? And I'm the first to admit that as well. And I'm all for redemption and giving people a second chance. Now, if you make the same mistake twice, then it's a different type of thing altogether. Top kid. Spoke to a lot of coaches, successful coaches, Kevin Muscat, Ange Postecoglou, Tony Popovic. I think with those guys, they got the best out of him, and I think Mitch knows what the sort of manager that I am as well, and the coach that I am. Mitch is someone that wants to be challenged as well. The door's not closed on him in terms of international football. He's at a fantastic age as well. It's up to him now. It really is up to him and what he wants to do. But like I said, it's not very often that players of this calibre and quality come around, and to attract them to a club like Wellington. I've seen how challenging it is to attract players to this football club. It's not easy. So I think they've got a taste and understand now what we're trying to build and what we're trying to create here, and to have, like I said, quality players like this, and quality people, should I say, too. Fantastic people have checked out extremely well. And perhaps in Mitch's case, very misunderstood in a lot of ways. But one thing that I did find right across the board from all the players that he's played with, in particular, which tells you a lot, is that he's hugely respected amongst his peers, a very good professional as well. Sometimes, can be, if in the wrong environment, can get up to a little bit of mischief. Yeah, Mitch, right? But he certainly might be doing that under my watch and rule, and particularly with what we've got going here. But like I said, 2 very, very good guys, great individuals who going to add a lot to this football team. Their strengths, you know, in terms of Mitch and his creativity. I want him to be creative in terms of the attacking third and do what he does best. And David to do what he does, and that's running at players, get into goal scoring positions, get crosses in, assists, goals. You know, like I said, fantastic additions. Enough of me, huh?
Maybe just from both of you, just what attracted you to Wellington? Maybe David and Mitch, if you could just give us an idea of how you made the call to come.
Everything the gaffer said about us. No, you know, when you got a coach that calls you and, you know, it tells you what he thinks of you as a footballer, but also what you can improve on, you know, that's a big drawing card. You know, I think Wellington, everyone knows, not had success, so it's up to us to prove that. I think that's a big challenge for everyone.
Football decision for me. I had a good chat with Mark, and it was just the first thing that comes to my mind is just honesty all out there. Some coaches you talk to and they just want to talk about football and whatnot, but we had a good chat, and I went away and thought about a lot of things, and just excited for a new adventure, a clean slate for club fans, some players as well. So it's exciting, and hopefully we can get you know, this excitement and take it onto the pitch, and we can use that to help us really push for a finals spot. I mean, we have to set goals, but there's long-term goals, short-term goals. I've got personal goals. The clubs have got their personal goals as well. So if we can collaborate all of them, honest with each other, with as a team and as a club, I think this place can, you know, really rock in Westpac Stadium in Wellington, and I think we can do some damage up front with the squad we're putting together.
Were you looking to come back? Because what, you've been in Hungary for 3 years? 2.5. 2.5. So
yeah.
were you looking to come back, or was it the phone call from Mark that compelled you?
Oh, well, I was back in Australia, so it was easy to take phone calls. I was on holidays, and, you know, had a few options and a few discussions with other clubs, and yeah, it was not a simple choice, but it's, you know, it was pretty clear in the end. It was a family decision with my wife, and our little boy didn't have much say, but you know, it's going to be nice for us. It's going to be, you know, a new experience, and, you know, we didn't want to be too comfortable. I think if you get too comfortable, then you get complacent. I don't need that right now in my career, so yeah, ready to give it a good go.
What do you like about the setup that Mark's starting to bring in here? He's, you know, made no mistake. He wants to win. Is that an attitude that you guys hold yourselves?
Yeah, I think, you know, you see the signings. You know, I've lost a lot over the last 2 years, but, you know, bringing Dave and myself on, I think, you know, that can help attract more players, hopefully. And, you know, the A-League is up and down. You know, you've seen Newcastle last year, so, you know, why can't it be us this year? You know, and we work hard in pre-season and hit the ground running round one.
Mitch, after what happened last year, you come here with like a bit of a point to prove as well. You did it yourself?
Yeah, definitely. It was a tough 12 months on and off the field, so, you know, for me really it's about performing on it, and, you know, let everyone talk about my football, because, you know, I know what I'm capable of, and I got goals what I want to reach, and it's about doing it on the pitch.
Yeah, because part of coming here too, I guess having a coach, you know, wanting to take a chance on you, you know that what you're capable of, and yeah, wanting to be able to come here and show that. Yeah,
definitely. Not many people wanted to give me another chance, so, you know, I've got to owe that to the gaffer, and I've got to work hard and, you know, put my hand up for selection and, you know, win games.
So challenging coming into a team where you are going to be two of the more experienced guys. Obviously, Jerry's there, he's about 45 now, so he's been around for a bit.
46, I think.
Yeah, 46,
yeah.
yeah.
7.
Is it an interesting challenge coming into a new environment as two of the more experienced guys?
For me, no, because I've come into new environments before. But experienced or not, you've still got a part to play in the team. So it does come with its advantages, but yeah, as experienced players, I think if we can, you know, really concentrate and do our job, the younger players can kind of follow, and, you know, you can talk and do all this, but actions out on the pitch, I think, the clearest and the most important.
Mark, because I think Mitch had been here a few weeks ago,
sure he was here? You got photos?
Don't have photos.
What's that? We'll work on assumption? Don't ever work on assumption. Never, ever do that. Look, he was here. You know, it was something that we both spoke about, and no, I wanted to get it from you first, right? But we spoke about what the best thing for both parties would be, and that's, you know, for Mitch too, who's not, you know, had a look at our training facilities and being part of the group and in the environment as well. He wanted to be sure that, you know, one thing that he said was that he, you know, didn't want to let me down. It's not about letting me down. It's about, you know, Mitch being comfortable with what we're trying to build and buying into what we're trying to build here. So getting a bit of a taste for that, I think, worked for both of us. At the same time, we had the ability to really have a good look at Mitch as well, to see how he was around amongst the rest of his peers and the coaching staff. And you know, for some reason, he pounded out more kilometres than anybody else that week, right? And he worked the hardest. And you know, when his teammates come up in support and saying, look, we want this guy here at our football club because his quality, he wins us games, and look at his work ethic. And I said, yeah, well, that's just week 1. Can you do it for week 2, week 3, week 5, week 18, week 7, 19? Mitch, that's the key. But I think he's proven in his career that he's been able to do that. You know, win 2 championships and play under some of the managers that he has without, you know, repeating those efforts. Right? So it worked out well for both parties. It still wasn't easy at the end when I took him out for dinner, right? Even though he offered to pay, I still couldn't get his signature there and then. But I told him, if I don't get it now, forget about it. You're not going to come back again. It's gone, right? True, Mitch?
Yeah, it was.
I think the way you set up in those first pre-season games, number 2, number 10, I don't know if that's something we're going to see a little bit more of, but is it exciting to have, you know, Mitch and sub-3, you know, 2 creators and playmakers and
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how you guys think we play, and you know, from sort of, look, I don't read a lot of stuff, but I do read. I'm not going to be one of the Graham Arnold types that says that doesn't read anything and listen to the media. I know what goes on, right? Information does source back, but I'm interested to see how you guys think we're playing, because it's a little bit different than normal, right? But certainly to have 2 creative players of that ilk, you know, Sapri and Mitch, you can just see, even this morning, little things that I see, you know, they team up together in the same group playing Sheva, right? And you can just see immediately that they've got a feel for each other. And those kind of guys have that 6th sense anyway about them. Sapri's a talent, right? Still a long way off, and a lot of work to do, but it's certainly a talented footballer. And you can just see in his eyes when Mitch was, you know, on the same pitch that there's something there, right? Now, whether that translates into them both playing on the same pitch at the same time, we'll see. Time will tell. That'll be dependent on how Mitch and Sapri also perform in pre-season. But
it's good to have options.
It's good to have, yeah. It's great for that to be a possibility.
Is there, sorry, just one more from me. The squad's obviously taking shape now. Is there any particular positions where you're really trying to knuckle down?
Yeah, defensive midfield. Yeah, no dramas. Yeah, defensive midfield. Need another one there.
One more coming.
When, this week?
Yeah.
Phil saw someone down the training. Mitch, is this surreal, man? I mean, here you are, Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know, you've been here a lot. You know, the crowd love you here. You know,
I scored a few goals. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, you have. They sing your name. You know.
Yeah.
All joking aside, is this a place you ever saw yourself ending up?
You know, football's a funny game. It moves quickly, so you know, like every time you move or you change club or you decide to look elsewhere, you know, that's when you start thinking about it. So, you know, like probably not 2 years ago, but you know, it's the situation it's in, and you know, I had a few people call me, but after speaking to the gaffer and, you know, coming here, you know, and checking it out, because I wanted to do that for myself. It was more me. So you know, it worked well, and to get to meet the boys and see what was, you know, transpiring and going to happen this year, because I was looking at a few options, and you look at some of the squads, and you know, I didn't have a million options, but I wanted to have the right fit where I think my football could do the best and I can progress and be successful.
Just following on from that, you just said that you didn't necessarily have a million options.
Yeah.
Was there a point in the last 12 months where you almost thought that, you know, the dream of playing again at a big club was over?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know, I left Perth in February, so it's been about 5 months. You know, and people can call you and all that, but until someone actually offers you something, you know, you just wait until that. So, you know, I kept fit and I trained and just spent some time with family and around some good people and just, you know, did all the right things, and yeah, that's what I did.
So the question for both of you, Mark, I think you said in the start that it's been a challenge to bring players to this club. Is that kind of a sentiment that you almost see has changed slightly since Mark has come into the picture?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, even you speak to the boys that were here last year, obviously that's different circumstances and, you know, it's in the past, but, you know, like Jura today is buzzing, we're both here, so, you know, I think that shows the gaffer, you know, is doing all the right things and saying all the right things, and, you know, it's about us performing now. And, you know, if we're doing it out on the pitch, everyone's going to come here.
Mark, you spoke about making them uncomfortable. Is that relative to success, do you think, on the field? If you can put them in that position, do you think that's going to bring you success on the field?
I wouldn't do it otherwise. Wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. You know, being uncomfortable is, as it's said, you know, it's being and getting out of your comfort zone. And both players have touched on that. David said it as well. He wanted to get out of his comfort zone. You know, he wanted a challenge. And when I speak to players, they're the players that I want. You know, and it starts with me. You know, I've got something to prove. I want to be challenged. This is a challenge, right? And it's why I took it on. And I spoke to you guys before that. Every single player I've spoken to, there needs to be a theme as well. There needs to be a kind of buy-in, and there needs to be a reason, you know. And in David's case, he could have gone somewhere else, but he was up for a challenge, you know. And some players don't come because of that reason. We don't have all the money in the world, right? I think we all understand that. And I'm pretty tight in giving money out as well because of those of that understanding. So I don't want players for the wrong reasons at this football club. It's about financials, and you're coming to the wrong place. If you're going to come here to go on a journey, challenge yourself, and in 12 months' time look back and say, look at what I've achieved, and I was part of something different and something great, then you're all mine. I'll create that environment for you. I'll make you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, there's different reasons for it. We travel a lot. Things that go against us all the time at this football club, I've seen it from afar. So if you're not going to be ready for, let's say, free kicks that don't go your way, if you're going to complain and be one of those types, then you're not for me, right? But how do you create an environment where it's one of no excuses? Well, there's little things you do with a training pitch, right? So when players think it's a foul, play on, because you're not going to get that in the game. We travel a lot as well, so we need to be at our best, at our peak, more than anybody else, right? Having a 2-hour 20 session last Thursday makes them uncomfortable. Well, my staff don't even know that I was going to train for that long, right? There's a lesson learned. Don't assume anything, right? Again, it's about challenging them and making sure they're getting out of their comfort zone, because I was testing them once to see who would break. I want to see who I can trust when we're playing Perth in the 89th minute, in Perth. Who can I trust? Who's going to be there? Yeah? Who's going to continue to do what's asked of them without any excuses? Who's going to continue to back up? And again, say if I said we're going for 3 hours 30 now. Understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that all these guys buy into this, you know, and they have a good laugh afterwards. It's good. It's all fun and games at the end of the day. But like I said, these are the sort of guys and characters we want. I like characters. Mitch's a character for me, you know. He's a little bit different, right? He is, right? But that's all part and parcel of it. That's what's going to make what we are. You know, there's going to be character about us. We're going to be different. We're going to play different. You called it 2 10s. Someone called it a false 9 or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. You can use whatever terms you want. At the end of the day, it's about providing a game that's going to put 3 points together at the end of the day, really. You know, we may play with 10 players behind the ball, defending the edge of our 18 for 60 or 70 minutes. We might get a result out of it. Well, I'm not going to apologise for that. You understand what I'm saying? We're about creating a winning team, and we'll do it however we can.
I just wondered whether you knew about the 3 hour 30 training sessions.
No, it was 2 hours and 15.
Thanks, guys.
All right.